Something crazy is happening. At the beginning of the year, GameStop stock was trading at just about $17. Today, it's trading at over $300. In today's video, we're going to cover the biggest transfer of wealth in history from Wall Street to Main Street. A bunch of Redditors got rich, and a $13 billion hedge fund collapsed. How did it happen? Let's get into it. r/WallstreetBets are the guys who are bringing down the hedge funds. Who are they? Well, they describe themselves as a community like 4chan found the Bloomberg terminal. 3.3 million degenerates, not members. You could see, sense of humor. Mostly, it's stonk memes. And also, every once in a while, they give advice. Mainly bad one, but this time, it worked out. r/WallstreetBets about to blow up another hedge fund, this one valued at $13.1 billion before the Reddit trolls decided to buy all GameStop, LOL. During this time, GameStop stock increased $46.95, aka for every $11.95 increase in GameStop stock price, Melvin loses $1 billion. Up nearly 100% just today after being up 100% yesterday. Tell me we're not in a bubble. You are, but it doesn't matter. Bring down the hedge funds who short. They don't add any value to our society. If GameStop goes up another 17%, this hedge fund will instantly collapse. $13.1 billion gone. Poof. And it's gone. Elon Musk just tweeted about the stock and they're now trading at $192 after hours. If they open at this price, Melon Capital will go bankrupt tomorrow morning. $13.1 billion in wealth transfer from Wall Street to Reddit trolls. What we're witnessing isn't a traditional pump and dump. It is an unorganized yet collective effort of meme lords and average Americans to completely ignore all market fundamentals and, through the power of social media, bankrupt hedge funds overnight, taking their funds legally unclear. I agree. Legally unclear. Reddit is also in the process of memifying AMC stock to revive it from the dead. This is like the Occupy Wall Street movement, but their own turf, and with real financial consequences. Incredible. I was thinking the exact same thing. It's like the Occupy Wall Street movement, but now it's real. For any people, journalists trying to understand the GameStop stock situation, read this post. Let's read this post. I've never seen anything like what's happening with GameStop stock before, and I don't think I'll ever see anything like this. This is a big moment, a tug of war between tradition and the future. Hedge fund managers live in the past and continue to look down upon the retail investors. Truly believe that we, the average retail investor, don't know anything about finances or the market, which may be true, and we're just gambling our money away. We don't know any better. We need hedge fund managers to tell us what to do. Save us, Daddy. Save us. This is the world they want to live in. This was the past. Remember that scene from The Sopranos where Tony's wife calls to buy 5,000 shares of Webonics after she was manipulated emotionally to do so? Institutions and hedge funds want us to be stuck in that world. They're scared of the future. They're scared because so much information is available for free now. There's no more fees for trading. We have large communities that discuss stocks and trading openly. r/WallstreetBets. We can think and make decisions for ourselves, which scares the fuck out of old school institutions and hedge funds. Fuck them. This affects every single one of you, whether or not you're holding GameStop stock. Interesting. Allegedly, some dude on Reddit just turned his investment gambling account into over $22 million overnight. If true, holy fuck. As of the recording of this video, both Robinhood and TD Ameritrade are down. They're trying to stop the short. They're trying to stop the loss, the bleeding. That's the cynical view, of course. But how did this happen? Well, let's see what Sauter has to say.
A user in April 2020 took notice that 84% of all GameStop stock at the time was held in short, a massive bet for no discernible reason. That Reddit user implored others to buy the stock and to instruct their own brokers not to allow their shares to be lent towards short positions of short sellers. This alone caused the stock to soar by nearly 50% in a single day, which, as Bloomberg notes, was the biggest gain in 18 years of the company history. But this is where things get really crazy. Slowly, other Redditors began to realize that by banding together, they could do two things. First, that their power in numbers combined with the power of trading platforms like Robinhood could enable them to act together, and two, that by pushing the stock up collectively, they could make more money and screw over major heavy hitters on Wall Street. To be clear, this is all speculative. and gambling, and it's bad. But a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money. But if this entire thing is a scheme, and it's all made up anyways, then why shouldn't the little guys make some of the money instead of the titans? And that's what's happened here. Soon, GameStop stock was up an eye-popping 1,100%. Right now, as I'm giving this monologue, the stock trades around $280 a share. Less than 2 weeks ago, it was $20. A few Redditors got rich. A few more are definitely going to get scammed. But what's really beautiful is who lost out. Melvin Capital, who is backed by some of the biggest guys on Wall Street, needed a $2.75 billion cash injection yesterday.
And what's interesting about this and wonderful, they had the $2.57 billion injection and they already lost 25% by this morning. Let's keep going.
After losing billions on the stock, they declined a full 15% in just the first few weeks of the year. That's right. A bunch of people on Reddit with Robinhood accounts delivered a body blow to one of the biggest speculators on the street.
Isn't that wonderful that they use Robinhood accounts? The symbolism behind that. The little guy taking from the big guy. It's wonderful.
Love to see it. But apparently I'm the only guy in media who does like to see it. Because over on the financial news channels, they are losing their minds. In fact, since I actually don't watch too much financial news, I saw Jim Cramer, of all people, who's making sense.
Oh, this is fantastic.
An analyst on CNBC
I saw this.
Accused Redditors of possible illegal collusion and then suggested with a straight face it might be foreign powers at work manipulating our markets. I'm serious. Take a listen.
Hey, I say that. What the hell, man? Take a listen.
What kind of case do they have? We like the stock. We like the stock. I mean, that's the kid where Ryan Cohen got in. He bought 15% at $8. He's on the board. We like the stock. How is that bad? Or do you think that they're concentrated and doing some sort of manipulation if they say they like the stock?
Well, I don't know if they're concentrated because I don't have subpoena power and I can't really go out and look at it. I can argue I don't even know if there are foreign powers at work here behind the scenes trying to make chaos up our markets.
How sad is that? The mainstream media and the establishment, whatever, and they don't know who to blame. Russia, foreign powers, foreign collusion, Russian Russiagate. But now, the new hot accusation on the block, it's this. WallstreetBets and GameStop, Reddit's lingering white supremacy problem. The stock market has been reeling for the last week, with one institutional investor being targeted in a campaign that one hedge fund manager says brings him back to the 1930s. White supremacy, oh loud! Isn't it crazy how these people graduated from Russiagate and foreign powers to white supremacy, even though you could see some lingering effects of Russiagate? Some people still like to spew that nonsense. But now, white supremacy. I lost money? White supremacy. I don't like what you said. White supremacy. I don't like your opinion. White supremacy. Everything is white supremacy. Everything is crazy. And before we go, one last crazy thing. How about the CEO of the NASDAQ begging for more regulations?
You know, we've mentioned social media. I couldn't help but it's not obviously similar to some of this controversy surrounding Facebook and Twitter and everything else. But once again, what's one of the things that we're talking about is maybe misinformation and pump and dumps, and it's occurring on social media again. It just I'm wondering whether it's part of the same problem, the type of regulation that we finally need to consider. And like I said, we should always have a light touch with regulation, but you're seeing the way things can get started. Again, this is different. Maybe it's Reddit, maybe it's not Facebook, but you're seeing the same situation. At this point, it's not about an election. It's not about an insurrection, but there are interesting things happening that seem to be spawned to some extent, or at least blown out of proportion by social media again. Adina.
Well, I do think, though, that as we look at these new technologies that are there available to everyone, including investors, I think it's also important for regulators to understand that, you know, manipulation is manipulation, whether it's happening through a new technology medium or it's happening through traditional mail. So I think it's just a matter of making sure that we understand what the behavior is, what's underpinning the behavior, and working appropriately with the regulators to manage the situation, regardless of the technology that they're using.
I bet you thought you'd never hear that from the CEO of the NASDAQ. They're losing money the way they made money all these years? Well, things must change then, I guess. They can't be losing money. That's unacceptable. And if they do, we must bail them out. Let me leave you with this. You may be having a bad day, but at least you're not some Wall Street hotshot suit that has to tell his bosses that you lost billions of dollars to some Reddit meme bros. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. See you next time.